Generic greetings. There's a fair few colony simulators out there, games where you have people land on a planet and you have to build different buildings and survive on there. I've played a lot of the games, and this is the latest one as of the time recording that I've been spending a little bit of time with. I've played about 2.5 hours of this thing, so this is certainly first impressions, not a review. Also, it is in beta, so it's mostly feature complete as far as I'm aware, but there's still a couple of bugs and there'll be changes and things like that, so just be aware of that. I've played, as I said, about 2.5 hours, so I'm going to show you just a little bit of the game and you can decide whether it's something for you. Spoiler alert, I quite like it. Let's go to new game, and just for the sake of full disclosure, I've done the first 3 missions to completion, so Holosim 1, Holosim 2, which is essentially the tutorial, and also Vanar, which is the very first mission that you do, and then I've started this Sandy Gulch. I'm probably about halfway through that, but we're going to do a sandbox, which could be good and it could be bad, because I've never actually done one of these, and we might die very early on, and there's a very, very, very specific way I need to build this, I'm sure. So here we go, sandbox mission, build the colony as I see fit, and hopefully I see fit to have it be, well, not crap. So by the look of it, I want to test out, the map is not randomly generated as far as I can tell. At least that was there last time I played. I don't know whether it does randomly generate. No, I don't think it is, because these are all in the same location. Either way, what we have is a mission over here, so we have to reach a population of 50. This serves as a sort of pseudo-tutorial and like a little objective list. I'm going to pause the game for a moment while we quickly run down the UI. Quite simple, all the options are on the bottom. In the center, obviously, we've got our colony there. We'll check that out in a moment. On the bottom, we've got all the buttons for things like overlays, so you can see like happiness and airflow, stuff like that. It is a full simulation, this one, that's quite deep, so I'll get into that later on. We've got some options for our colony control and trade options, and then our building options. So every one of these buttons is essentially click on it and then you get some more options for building. So power generation, mining, happiness and approval, your overall airflow, things like that. And then you got readouts in the bottom which show you things like the food, how much you've got and how much you're getting. So I've got 429 generic units of nutrients stroke sustenance, and we're getting minus 2.1 per is it per sol? I think it's per sol. Oh no, it's per tick. It is per tick, I think. We've also got some water and overall storage capacity, as well as air quality, population, yes, and nanites, which is your generic building resource, as well as electricity, and we're currently generating 20 electricity and 19 is demanded, so we need to sort that out as soon as possible. So let's get on with that one. What I'm going to do is go to our electricity structures and go to geothermal generator. You can see it takes 24 nanites to build and generates 200 power, or up to 200 power. I'm going to shove it down there, and then we'll unpause it. And what will happen is the drone will come from this little drone station and fly over and start building it. A bit like Total Annihilation / Supreme Commander, sort of like 3D printed from the bottom up, which is pretty cool. It does have the same sort of effect as Total Annihilation and that sort of thing, which I do approve of very nicely. We've got some tunnels, which will essentially allow us to connect these up, which is something I would definitely recommend you do, because otherwise you can't connect anything up and they won't be able to get there, which is quite bad, obviously. Nice little feature here. If you press C, you can get like sort of cameras all the way around the place, and you can see people wandering around in these tunnels, and you click on them and it shows you, so Brady Popper, who is 70 happiness, 100 health, and tells you what to do, like where they live and where they work and what they consume, things like that. You've also got overall morale as well, so it's a full list of needs, and all that is simulated, so it's quite good. And you can see what colonists need and what they want, and you know where they're unhappy and happy and things like that, which is all good. So what we need to do is try and figure out a way to generate power. Cha-ching, we've done that. Then we need to work out about mining, because we really do need to get some mining done. So we need to get this mined out, and the reason we want to mine that is essentially it's the only way we make nanites, and nanites are very important. We'll go to a nanite processor, and we'll probably put it perhaps there, in fact right next to it. The reason there's lines, by the way, is it shows you where the workers are going to come from, so you don't really want to have... If you have it over here, it means they've got a bit of a commute, and that will affect their overall happiness, which may affect how they vote later on, because you might get voted out. It hasn't happened yet to me, but I assume it can happen eventually. I've always been voted in because I've been doing a semi-competent job, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to crack on this. We'll speed up to max speed. Speed controls are quite easy. By the way, today's beverages. Nice cup of tea. Lovely, lovely. So, almost finished here, and there we are. So we got a nanite processor that will synthesize some nanites, and it uses, I believe, iron, copper, and... or it can use iron, it can use copper, and this sludge thing as well. So this is mining, how much is it? It is mining iron, and you can see there is a limited amount in there. So it's mining iron, and then we'll be turning it into nanites. And essentially, if you don't do that, you will lose the game very quickly, because then you won't be able to build anything else, and that is bad. So what I want to do is work out probably where to put some farms. So I'm going to expand over to this side, like so. And then we're going to shove some farms down because we also need to start thinking about food because food is going down. We also need to think about water as well. So let me get a water extractor. We'll get a water pump put in. Now, the way the thing works is I've got these tunnels, but you don't necessarily need to connect everything with tunnels. They will happily walk through other buildings, which is very nice. It means that they can, you can clump everything together if you want, but that might not necessarily be a good thing because if they have to travel through loads of different rooms, they might get pissed off and things like that. So you might want to, like split it out. So I need to place this down. You can see we've got abundant water, a little key here, and then no water there. So I want to put where there's like abundant water, and it seems to be quite abundant back there, right next to the geothermal vent. You would think, actually that does does that make sense? Geothermal, no, not really, because it would, no, I think it could work. I think it could work. Anyway, so why is it for some reason not going to speed 1? Go to speed 1. There we go. Okay, so we've got that going. Let's have a quick look at our overall employment, and we can see that this, again, key on the left hand side, very easy to understand all of this. I like to say the tutorial is fairly, I wouldn't say brief, but it blasts you through the first 2 missions. I think I got it done in less than about 40 minutes or something like that, maybe half an hour, and it tells you most things that you need to know, and it's very, very quick and easy to understand. So as you can see, key on the left provides workers is in pink, so we can see we've got these things here, and you can see it says 100% employed, also says accept workers, which are all these. So you can see that this is good, everybody's got a job, but this is very, very good. However, slight problem. You can see it says construction drone hub, 60% jobs filled and 60% efficiency. Same thing for the geothermal vent. Same thing, or even less for the mining area and for the nanite processor. Essentially, we don't have the workers to fill these jobs, so they're going to be a little bit worse off. I don't know why, but for some reason, I can no longer change it. Oh, I can change speed 1. That's weird. Right. So, what I want to do is probably get some more people in, and the way to do that is to get a spaceport. But before we do that, we need to feed the colonists we have. So I'm going to get a farm up and running, and you can select different crops, and most of them will some of them could be better or worse in different areas. So I probably want to put in one that will grow melons there. And over this side, perhaps we'll grow some, maybe not rice, corn, quinoa. Melons again, good over that side. Put some melons there. And we'll put another farm over this side, so perhaps we'll go for... it's really crap over here for some reason. They don't really like anything growing over that side. Where's the best to grow? Corn. Corn will happily be growing around here. Yeah, we'll get a farm put in there. Right, so we got some farms. Excellent. And we've got winter approaching. Now what will happen is you'll get... the thing is, I don't know. It says seasons, right? But it doesn't make that much sense. I don't know whether it's supposed to be nighttime, because essentially it just gets dark and frost goes everywhere. Like, you don't get spring, summer, autumn, winter. You get summer, winter, and that's it. And you'll get frost cover the land. And what happens is you essentially don't grow crops if they're outside. There you go. And your solar panels, which I should really upgrade. Actually, no, we don't even need to upgrade it because we've got this geothermal vent. Solar panels will generate half power. That's why I got my geothermal vent straight away. The geothermal generator put in over the vent. What was I going to say? I think, yeah, that's right. The worlds that you are on are obviously quite alien. Look at the random flora and fauna. But yeah, look at all these things here. These are quite alien and such, but I think the idea is that they're not, you can't just sit outside, by the way. This is a cargo pod. It's been jettisoned, and if you pick it up, if you've got a thing in range, then you will get some nice resources, which is cool. Yes, if you go to these different worlds, you can't survive outside it, but you can grow crops, because I think the atmosphere is like high in nitrogen and carbon dioxide, but not oxygen, so you can't actually breathe out there, hence why you've got all this. But anyway, speed up to max speed, and what we'll do is just wait for... there you go, look, everything's frosting up, and eventually the ground will start sort of frosting up. If I speed it to max speed, you'll be able to see that. There you go, look. So it's all frosted up. It would be nice. I mean, you do get a bit of frost on these trees, I think. I think you can... Yeah, there's a little bits of, like, frost on there. It would be nice if, like, the leaves dropped off and things like that and then grew back. But I think because how quick it is, it would be a bit dodgy. What I'm going to do is upgrade this this drone bay here. I think it would be a nice... or a good thing to do. We also need to go over to Spaceport and we'll get ourselves an immigration centre. And what that'll do is bring people to the colony and we'll shove that down. And then speed up to max speed again. What I want to do is get that cargo pod over there, you see. Cargo pod, 100 nanites, 100 jewellery and 200 vodka. Don't know why there's that over there, but whatever. We might as well expand it. If we expand it here... could expand it over here, why not? To like that, perhaps. And then we'll put a little nanite buildery thing in there. And then we will collect the drones. Even if we sell it, it's worked out because that's 100 nanites and it's cost us... 2, 4, 6 nanites.
The Constitution guarantees your citizens the right to vote on their colony.
Looks like we're getting some voting, shoe. So it's 2, 4, 6, 16 nanites to build all of that. So even if we just scrap that, we've got, you know, a good little bonus there. So we've now got an immigration centre. Slight issue here. 16 of 16 inhabitants. We are full. We literally cannot get anyone in the country. There's just not possible. Essentially, it's, if you read the Daily Mail, that's what they're telling you about the UK. We're full. We're gonna have to close. We're done. But what we'll do, we'll get ourselves a habitat and we'll shove it down there, and then we'll connect up a couple of tunnels like so, and then we'll speed up again to max speed, and then it will. Oh, hang on! Crisis detected. Insufficient housing. Right, I'm aware of that. I'm trying to resolve that. You don't need to pause the game, thank you. I have failed the game a couple of times, and it does have a snowball effect, this thing, where, for example, the first time I failed, it was in winter, and we were running out of food, and what happened is, we got to a shortage of food, and all the workers went on strike. And because they went on strike, there was not enough power being generated, and then because of that, there wasn't enough food being generated, and the workers were still saying there's not enough food or anything being generated. Obviously, the solution would be to say, okay, well, if you can just go back to work, everything will be fine. You'll actually get the food and and everything else. And they went, nah, we're going to sit here. And then they all died. So they don't have a very good level of self-preservation, I don't think. Let me just max out this, or upgrade this habitat. There we are. What else do we need? Well, so far we are generating food. We are not generating any water, but we're not losing any water, which is good. We have a couple of drone structures. We haven't really got storage. Where is our storage center? It is... I don't know, where is storage? Storage is currently okay. It's fine. Research center, we don't want that just yet. And we haven't got a battery. Let's get a battery up and running. What that'll do is... let's shove it down there. Referendum election, seasonal referendums. So I've got 72% of the vote. So someone's saying, I'm being oppressed. Not a Monty Python thing. And I have to walk too far to get to my job. Essentially, that's what they're saying. Which is a little bit difficult to sort out because, well, as far as I can tell, there's no way to have like monorails or anything like that. Maybe that's something you get later on, but I've never found it yet. And also, it's really difficult to manually alter who works where. So, for example, if I go to my tab over here, employment, you can see where people are, are sent to. So, if I put like a habitat over here, it won't necessarily say, right, well, the guy that used to work and travel that way there, now you work over here. It doesn't. I don't think it works that way, which is annoying because then you have to manually change it all. Anyway, let's just pull that down. So over colony control panel, we can go to policies. We can say rationing. There's a couple of other things here like martial law and other stuff. You get these unlocked as you progress on. So the more you get voted back in, like, if you get voted back in, you'll actually get like more of them unlocked. So in terms of air quality, we've got 93% air quality. So it's slowly going down. So I'm going to take an air intake, and you can see that air quality is actually not too bad in most places, to be quite honest with you. It's pretty okay. What I'll do, I'll get one put in just here, just in case we have an issue there. So, we've got some people turn up. This is good. So we're generating food. Not really a lot, though. And we've got people turning up. Excellent. What I'll do then, more food, I think. So, broccoli. 2.9 broccoli, 2.7 broccoli, melons, 4 point odd, 3 point odd rice, same for the quinoa, corn. Corn really wants to be grown over here for some reason, and I'm not too sure why. What I'll do then, I will apparently lag out. There are some performance issues with the game. It does stutter now and again, and for some reason as well, there's no VSync options. So even though I forced it on the GeForce control panel, it just refuses to go on. So my graphics card is constantly trying to draw about a bazillion frames, and such the fans. It's sucking my house slippers off. Is essentially what's happening here because the fan's going mental. Anyway, we want to expand probably over this way, like so, and we'll get some more crops and more farming and such. I like to spread my colony out. I don't like to clamp it together, but I'll be honest, I think clamping it together is the best option, because I said at the start, I know it's not necessarily the right way, but I found that generally it is, because yeah, so what happens? Air quality in my part of the colony is terrible. Someone's saying I need enhancers and there's no place to buy what they need. Okay, air quality is terrible, is it? Right, let's just pause it for a second and we'll go over to air quality, and we can see that air quality is fine pretty much everywhere. Okay, they're talking rubbish. It might be around here, but we'll see. Anyway, let's get some farms put in. So we want some broccoli, would be nice. Or corn. Corn is okay around here. 5.9, 5.7, 5.9 about there. That's okay. And we'll get another one put in. I tend to overdo crops, but I think it's always better to overdo something like food rather than underdo it. So what were we getting there? I just can't remember. We're getting... Let's just speed it up. Did I put corn? We'll see what happens. You can see there's like stuttering now and again, which is a little bit annoying, but we'll see what happens. That is corn, right? So we've got corn. And we'll get, I think... rice would be nice. There you go. Some rice over there. And we'll put that down. And job done. You've got greenhouses as well, which you get 50% efficiency in winter, so you can grow it in winter as well, which is good, good, good. So, how are we doing for population? We've got everybody unemployed. We've got, I'm assuming, not enough people working in these places. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, there's only one person there, look. And a maximum of 5. Not enough medical facilities here. I need my enhancers. No place to buy what we need. So speaking of buying, we might be able to put a bar and grill in the place, and that might, you know, chill people out a little bit. We'll put a bar and grill there. There we are, so they can go and buy some things, which is good. We've got a hospital as well, which is something I haven't currently got, so it might be an idea to put one in. So we'll put one in, I think we'll put it near the centre of the colony. Out there, near where there's a lot of people living, so that should hopefully resolve that. You don't necessarily have to follow what they say. You can tell them to bugger off and just ignore them, but I don't think that's a great idea. I want to probably upgrade our geothermal generator, although I can't because I don't have enough nanites. I'm slowly getting nanites, but it's not really going there. Oh, I've been voted back in. So, referendum won. Congratulations, you won 75% of the vote. Continue as the governor. So, we've unlocked 10 new social policies. Social policies being in here, and you can see we've got things like immigration ban, job switching ban, cannot transfer jobs if you already have one, power monitoring, so what's that? Reduces electricity usage by 2, but you get minus 2 to 4 freedom morale, because essentially you say you can't use that electricity. Forced overtime, there's loads of stuff there. I mean, that's what you could have done there. I could have forced overtime when I did that failure, but I didn't have, I don't know if I had that unlocked at the time, I can't remember. Anyway. Go back to OK here, and we'll unpause it. What I want to do is essentially upgrade my mine, because I'm not generating enough nanites. We'll go back to normal speed, and yeah, it's going to take, actually we'll max speed it, because we need to generate more nanites. How much have we got? Let's upgrade that. We'll do the same to the mine. And that should hopefully up these nano production. Come on. It's still 0.2. Because there's only one person working there. That's the problem. If we have more people working there, what I'm going to do is... I'll pause it. I'll go over to our... Ooh, that's the wrong button. I'll go over to the modes and over to employment overlay. And I will probably up... I will... I want to get rid of those. Reduce some of them. And then increase them. Cancel. cancelled some off there, you see. Nice, so you can force, like... You can force people off. You know what's probably best if I just leave it? Just leave it for now. And I will eventually just get more people turning up on the... from the immigration centre. You can see they've got dropship in orbit and there's new colonists turning up all the time. Upgrade that. There we are. So that's producing nanites. But 0.5 a tick now, which is okay. Building another one of them would not really be worth it, to be honest with you, because we would just be splitting the workforce once more, which is obviously something we don't want to do. We could have a forced overtime. We could do something like that, which is a lot of minus morale, something I don't really want to do. Prohibition, things like that, because you do eventually get people who are pretty much stim junkies or alcoholics and things like that, because, you know, they're all human and stuff. You know, these things can happen for a myriad of reasons. Most of them not good. Let's just go back on here and we'll have a quick look around and you can see, like, nice weather effects and such. You do get on different planets, different effects such as like sandstorms and meteor showers and lightning strikes and things like that. We get some, we'll probably get some like asteroids landing on this. Oh, not asteroids. Sorry, like what were they? I think they were like big hailstones essentially, just big chunks of ice falling from the sky, and they can damage your things. They will damage things. They tend to just destroy tunnels and damage your areas. You can see we do have a repair option because you get structural integrity on the different parts as well. So back onto a couple of nanites, which is good. What I'm going to do is I think it would be prudent to get myself a trade hub up and running. There we are. And that will allow us to do a bit of trading, which is always good. You can see there's now a food warning, which is bad. And the reason we've got the warning is essentially because of the amount of people we've got versus the food that we are producing, which is essentially none because we don't have any greenhouses, which is bad. We've got crisis detected because of that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do a bit of rationing. People are obviously going to be a little bit upset about that. Let's check overall approval, actually. Overall happiness is... Everyone's employed. Housing is about 54%. Well, it's exactly 54% fulfilled. Morale's quite good. Yeah, they'll probably be a bit pissed off because of the rationing, but I don't think it's going to hugely affect it. What I'll do, go to trading, and you can see you can say do something like export 20 nanites to get 100 ration packs. Same for iron, same for copper, barley, broccoli, things like that. So all of this is not something I really want to do. I certainly can't do the nanites because I haven't got enough, and I don't want to export things like broccoli and other such things because it will... not really work. Same as iron and copper. Look at that, I've only got 6 and 5 in the inventory, so let's not bother doing that. We'll cancel that. Okay, so max speed again. And where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? You can do see the look at that, nice little birds and stuff going by. It is a very nice looking game. I've heard a lot of people say it looks a bit like Anno, which I've never played the Anno games. I think I might have played 1 or 2 of them back in the day, but when they, the Anno like 1404, whatever it was, and the older ones. But I've never played the modern ones. But I can sort of understand. I have seen the games, and I think yeah, you can sort of draw comparisons to that. But it does look very nice. You do get different seasons and stuff, and the detail is quite nice as well. Very, very nice. So. Food's going down. No, water's going down. Oh yeah, it does say consumption for colonists as well. Right, so water. Where is our water? It sometimes can be quite difficult to find where things are, I must confess. Although, there might be a way to do it by just going over to water, overlay, and... Nope, it doesn't tell where things are. If we mouse over, has it done this though? Hang on, if we go to water and mouse over this... Yes, and you click on one, it already shows you where one is. Okay, that's good. So we're going to upgrade that. There we are. And then max speed it out. Hopefully we will not lose water. And if that doesn't work... Yeah, we're still losing one, so I'll put one next to it. Next to the steak, the bar and grill. We're now generating that, which is good. So, low water, nope. Food's going up, yes. More people turning up, good. Right, excellent. So this is working out. There's some more creatures coming over. I hope they don't drop some bird dirt and it starts landing on all these windows and stuff, because I can't imagine being essentially the Dave Lister window cleaner type guy who has to come and sweep all that up and wash it off the outside. Right, we've also got things like a scrubber drone and a police drone, which I haven't made. The police drone is pretty much what it says on the tin. It's a drone that has policemen in it. No, it doesn't. It's just essentially drones that go around and will police the area. So, you know, they've got cameras all over it, and they'll taser you or something like that. Essentially like Central London. No, I wouldn't know. I've never been, believe it or not. So we've got, we'll speed up to max speed, and there we go. We've got a little police drone, and it'll wander around and just go to different areas and just say, hey, are you committing a crime? No, I'm not. Good. Well, are you thinking of committing a crime? No, I'm not. Excellent. Carry on, citizen. Thank you. No problem. So we've got a storage that's going full, which is something we don't want. What we want to do is get ourselves a storage depot and shove it down somewhere, probably right next to our center here, where we was it the landing pad? Yeah, the trade hub. So we'll get that, and then it'll increase our overall storage. Look at that, the weather's coming in now. Very, very snowy. Obviously, we're getting minus food. And we've generated a lot of food. We might be able to do a bit of trading, actually. If we go over to trade, we'll say export, no barley, no broccoli. We can export 100 corn, and we'll get 120 porridge back. So it's actually worth us doing that. So we've got a reward available here because we've got 50 colonists. So we can say 25 nanites, 6 immigrants, 100 rice. I'm going to go for the nanites, I think. There we go. I would normally go with the colonists, but, you know, I think we'll stick with that. New mission available, reach a population of 100. In these scenarios, you do tend to get objectives that is things like build this, build this, build this, and it just goes through that sort of cycle. A couple of things we haven't built, and I probably won't be building in this episode, is I don't think we've had a battery. Have we got a battery anywhere? Yes, we have got a battery. Sorry, I've done a battery there. That's essentially stores energy. It also increases generation on the tiles around it, which is useful. We haven't got a scrubber drone. What you get is these like creeps that'll come along and start like infesting it, and they essentially clean it off, which is fine. Farming, we've already sorted. We haven't really mined. We haven't got laser mines and other things to mine some more exotic materials, which can be used for power plants. We haven't done atmospheric condensers. Essentially, it's just another way of getting water. Similarly, air filters, they're just a slightly better fan. We haven't got like things like the VR center or the retail center. Actually, we will get a retail center. I think we'll put a retail center probably here, and then we'll expand this along like so. What else have we got? We haven't got an Earth History Center, which is like, I think it's some of these, the Earth History Center is some like an objective to win in some of the maps, but you've got other things as well, like a park and whatnot, which is all cool. And one of the main things that I won't be showing you, which but I will mention because it is of note, is the where is it? Can't find it now. Where is it? I'll find it. I'm not going to let it defeat me. Where is it? Here it is. So you've got mills, you've got chemical plants, and you've got research centers. Research centers are self-explanatory. You get some research options, and the mills allow you to mill stuff down to make things generally what you've researched in the research center. Same for the chemical plants as well. So you will get different things researched, and then you will be able to use the chemical plant to make things like antibiotics. And I think there's like essentially a feel-good drug. So you take it and you're like, yeah, I don't really mind being around here, even though it's an absolute crap hole. Have we got minus energy here? Insufficient power. Yeah, we've got insufficient power now. So what I'm going to do is upgrade this solar power plant. There we are. But yes, that's the sort of things you will get, and you can then export that. So you can focus on one thing. So if you decide, for example, to, I don't know, just work on making loads of chemicals and then selling it, then that's something you can do if you choose to. So we're still doing this thing here. We're still trying to export corn, and it will keep doing it until you turn it off, as far as I can tell. So we've got beer as well. We're going to import some beer, and it will be a proper imported beer as well. Not something that's brewed under license that's like 3 doors down and you don't know about it. Charlatans. Right, so what else do we need to do? Well, we've got habitats. They're okay, and obviously you can upgrade it if you need to. Capacity is fine. We haven't got... we've got a cargo thing there. In terms of food's okay. Water, we're about middle ground. That's fine. We're not losing any. We do need to make another geothermal generator, but the closest one is there, which is miles away. So I don't think we will be doing that. Is there any other cargo pods that I've missed? Can't really see any. Total population is, hang on, we're on 58%, so it'll be 58. Excellent, because it's out of 100 there. Overall, little retail centres. We've already got one. A little park we can put next to it as well, which will make people nice and happy. And then we can, oh, we can't build that. Well, we can, but it's sort of pointless because we can't get past. And what I'll do is I'll build, you can't build like through certain things, which is a bit annoying. I will on that piece there. I want to recycle just that piece there. Recycle. If I click recycle, does it recycle the lot? It shouldn't do. No, there we go. We're fine. Air quality alert. Let's go to sector. Apparently there's very poor air quality around here. That is bad. So what we'll do, we'll go over to air and then to the scrubber, and we'll put a scrubber right next to it. In fact, there's poor air quality all over the place, and I think that's just simply down to me not taking any note of the air quality. I haven't really done much with it. Looks like another referendum. Now I'm just upgrading these, and I'll get these to max level to try and really improve the air quality.
That your colony is experiencing significant power failures.
Significant power failures.
Resolve the situation as quickly as you
Yes, I will resolve the situation as quickly as possible. All right. Okay, so we really do need to resolve this power issue. So we'll get some more solar panels put in. You can see 269 demand, 250 is what we're making. Can upgrade this thing here, which is our geothermal generator, something I should probably have done a long time ago, and it doesn't actually destroy the building, so you still get what it should be generating. And I'm just going to essentially upgrade all of these buildings. So apparently there's too much crime. We've got 80% of the votes so far. Too much crime though. More enhancers to make us happy. They want like feel-good drugs, and the air quality in my part of the colony is terrible. So we're trying to get the air quality up, and the crime is fairly easy. We should just be able to upgrade the police drones. So we'll upgrade this. And we'll upgrade it. We won't actually upgrade it once more. What we'll do, we'll go over to the drone tab and we'll place a police drone around here because we haven't got one there. 18 nanites to build. Obviously, it's taking a while to build that. What we should probably do is build another nanite hub thing, whatever. And we should probably put some more people in there, but you know, like I say, it's a bit fiddly moving things around. I'll probably keep it as is. Yes, I'm aware. So we will say put that in. Put it there. There. Right in the centre. Alright, that should hopefully resolve that. We'll upgrade our solar panel. And we can't upgrade it anymore. That one is tier 3. I do like the way it changes the model as well. It doesn't just go bring and puts another light on it. It actually does look different. 83% of the votes, so we're doing quite well. And now it's all frozen. But the other worlds, you get like a desert one, you get an ice one, I don't know if there's a lava one. You get the idea, there's all different types of ones, and they all have their problems, essentially, you know. It wouldn't be a colony game if there wasn't loads of issues to work out. But this is, you know, it's not like RimWorld where it is just you're really on the fringes. You are, you know, quite. I know this is our first colony, I think, or Earth's first colonies, but it's very, very technologically advanced and stuff. You're not exactly chiseling stone here, are you? We've got like big towers with gardens in it and stuff. So yes, obviously the park you can see where people walk is. Yeah, we've been voted in again. So you can see the park is like under a dome, whereas this one around here you can only really look from it from your tower, which is you know. Okay, I guess. Anyway, I think I will actually leave it there because I've explained all the basics, and that's really all I want to do in these preview videos. I've explained the basics, I've shown you a bit of the game. Like I say, I quite like it. I can't really... I don't really have anything bad to say about it. I've been enjoying it. As I said, this is probably about 3 hours into it now. I've been looking forward to go through the campaign. The sandbox ones are pretty cool as well. I don't know how much variation there is between the maps. I know there is some, but I don't know how much it's going to really change it up. I know the difficulty will probably go up as we progress on, but I don't know how that's being introduced. There's some... things like, there's certain things that I'm not a massive fan of, like the way you have power. Like, if you run out of power, it'll start turning off from the furthest area. That's okay, but things like the construction drone, they have like a certain range, and I don't really understand why it doesn't just like take longer to go to different areas, but I guess it means you have to put them there. The maps are sometimes problematic to build because of the way like all the rocks are. I don't know if there's a way to actually remove the rocks. I haven't found out a way. The whole like connecting everything together seems to be generally the best way of doing it, because you save space, you save resources, and it doesn't really piss people off as far as I can tell much. So the downsides of doing it are massively outweighed by just the convenience of having them close together, especially when you consider you're trying to work around a lake. So it's best just to sort of clump everything together, but then that doesn't look very good, so I tend to split things out. And also people walking, like they have to commute, and having to move people around manually from different areas is fairly annoying. But, you know, other than that, I don't really have anything to knock with it. That is a bit of Aven Colony. I am up for doing more of this if that's something you want to see, whether it be, you know, a couple of, like, mini videos, mini series or some kind. Just me enjoying some beverage with it, or just a full series in general. I would like to know what you think. By all means, put the comments in the comments. You know what the deal is by now. And as I said, links are in the description. This is beta, so if there's a couple of issues, and there's certainly the performance and stuff, I expect that to be improved as they progress on. Most of it is feature complete, so can't really don't really have anything to say about that. But yeah, it is a beta, so you know, just understand that things may change a little bit. But the links in the description, so you can check it out. As always, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.